Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back, my friends. If you're new here, I am Lance. If you're returning, welcome back to my gaming channel. Today, we're checking out another Mike Burnfire called Zach Rants About the SMGs in the Army. Now, this is a Campfire Stories. Now, it doesn't usually, they always put that in the title as a Campfire Story, but it is a Campfire Story, so we're going to check it out. And of course, I'll leave the link for Mike Burnfire down below. And you guys seem to really like the last one. I know Mike Burnfire did really good on this channel a while back, and how can you not? They're very funny, and they always have some great videos. So if you want to support this channel, I'll leave the link down below for my Cash App and my Venmo. And yeah, let's go on with this reaction. And here we go.
Military now adopting an actual submachine gun. If they're going to be doing more of issuing rear echelon troops, like what would have been my job, a submachine gun.
Would they even want to?
Well, because the whole point of issuing someone a submachine gun is because they don't necessarily need a full-sized rifle.
But every Marine's a rifleman.
So that's going to pertain more to the Army than the Marines.
So every soldier's not a rifleman.
No. Every soldier is initially trained on how to use a rifle, but like you get a lot of rear echelon troops that aren't ever expected to see frontline combat, so they don't necessarily need a full-sized rifle.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it would make sense to give them a submachine gun because it's smaller.
It makes sense to give an old M16A2 because who cares?
Well, no, because you still want to have them have like good equipment. So maybe,
hey, they can maintain the M16A2s. It's fine.
I mean, logistically, yeah, it would make more sense to give them an A2 because, like, if you have...
I like the fact that sometimes when Zach goes onto these rants, Mike comes off with a question that kind of derails him because I think he has ADD. Well, he said Zach has mentioned he has ADD. I don't know what I always forget what that's the hyperactive one. I have just regular ADD, so I could relate to when someone asks a question that kind of throws me off guard when I'm in a role talking. Because you can hear that in Zach's voice because when he just said that, he was just like, what? Okay. And he had to collect his thoughts because he was on a roll. That's how I do. When I'm on a roll and you kind of throw like a kind of left-handed question that I wasn't expecting, and it'd be like, oh, it's like your brain goes skirblip. And yeah, that's why I can relate to Zach.
Have a bunch of A2s sitting around that nobody's using, why wouldn't you give them one? But on the other hand, I'm going to disagree with you because now that means you have to keep more parts in the inventory, which now is a greater logistic complication. And also, if you give them an A2, you're going to have to put stuff on the M16A2 because, oh, we've got to make sure that you can mount laser sights to it. So now you're going to keep a bunch of M5 RASs in the inventory.
I guess.
Which, you know, the Army is going to be like, yeah, you have to make sure that you're... When the Marines first entered Iraq and Afghanistan, the detachable carry handles on their M16A4s, they considered an essential piece of equipment. So they made the Marines keep the detachable carry handle with their M16A4s, even though they gave the Marines ACOGs and different optics to put on the top of it. So there's all these pictures of Marines running around with M16A4s with a detachable carry handle bolted to the bottom of the rifle. Yeah, so you end up with a bunch of images of Marines running around with M16A4s with a detachable carry handle bolted and then wired to the bottom so they don't lose it.
It's ridiculous.
And it's a detachable, it's like... It's not going to retain zero. If you zero a detachable carrying handle to an M16A4 and then remove the detachable carry handle and put it somewhere else, if you try to put that back on the top and then zero it again, it's not going to be zeroed.
No.
So it was just really stupid. It was this massive oversight that just added several ounces to the weapon's weight for no reason because the Marines might lose it and they might need a backup sighting system. It was so stupid.
It sounds stupid, yes.
So
wow.
The point I'm trying to argue is if you give an M16A2 to rear echelon soldiers, somebody high up in the chain of command is going to go, oh, well, we still have to make sure that they're a lean, mean fighting machine and that they've got their ACOG, which we're going to attach to the carry handle, and they've got their full rail system with their night vision sighting scope with the vertical foregrip on there. When we went from an M16A2 to the upgraded M16A2 with the Knight's Armament M5 RAS.
How it just fascinates me. Another thing about Zach, his mind, how he remembers. If you dealing with these all the time, you'll remember. Like I remember when I worked in the pharmacy, some of these long names. When you hear them enough, you'll start like HCTZ, which is a short version of hydrochlorothiazide, for instance, and. So but when you're not dealing with that every day, and if you've never been in the military like me, my dad has, so he's heard some of the older models and stuff like that. It fascinates me because they just right off the top of their head. It's fascinating to me.
They made us put all of the rail panels on there.
I didn't mean to send you on this tangent.
They made us put a vertical foregrip on it, and we were not allowed to take it off, which it says in the manual for that the vertical foregrip and rail panels are to be added onto the weapon at the end user's discretion.
Yeah.
He even knew what it said in the manual. That's pretty damn good. That you know your shit whenever you say in the manual.
Individual soldier is supposed to go, yes, I want this broom handle vertical grip on it. Yes, I want these rail panels. No, I don't want these rail panels. But they made us put all of that shit on there. So that was an extra, pound that I had to add to my rifle for literally no reason. Mm-hmm. Because somebody thought it was a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep,
It was
that's usually
also
how it
funny
happens.
when they issued us our M16A2s, and then they issued us the M68 CCO, or close quarter optic. When they issued us that, basically everybody was complaining about getting a red dot optic. Nobody was happy about it.
Why?
Because we'd all been trained on iron sights.
Oh, okay.
So we were all like, this is fucking stupid. What is this stupid Call of Duty future bullshit?
Did you get used to it, though?
Eventually, yeah, you got used to it. But now, it's like, if you don't have a red dot optic on your rifle, you're like a fucking caveman.
So what you're saying is they were right, you were just hesitant to adapt change.
Yes, but that's not the point I'm trying to argue is that yes, you could give M16A2s to rear echelon troops, but somebody in the chain of command is going to go, well, I want all this extra bullshit on there because it looked cool and Army future.
Okay.
Oh.
So I fully embrace the military being like, yeah, we're going to adopt the submachine gun, and I really hope that what they're doing is issuing the submachine guns to rear echelon troops that don't necessarily need a full-sized rifle.
Makes sense.
I think that would be a very good addition. Because I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but the M16 that you had an A2 when you were in service, correct?
Yes.
At the very tail end of service, you were issued the A4.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were issued the A2, was it just the plastic handguards?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the A4 actually had Picatinny rails.
Yes. See, when I was issued the M16A2, I was in at this weird time where they issued us the M16A2. So for the longest time, yeah, I just had the plastic handguards one. Mm-hmm. And then they issued us the new upgrade program for I forget what the specific upgrade was, but it was basically an M16A2 with the Knight's Armament M5 RAS, and then a gooseneck mount with an optic stuck on it. Mm-hmm. So our M16A2s went from being like a 7-pound rifle to like a 9.5-pound rifle.
Ooh.
Yeah, it sounds really annoying.
For basically very little benefit. And then when I came up with the bright idea of the rail system has a bolting system to it so that you can put optics on the rail system and have them retain 0. So why don't I just take the M68 CCO off of this stupid gooseneck mount and just mount it to the rail system? No, you have to keep the gooseneck mount. Why? The gooseneck mount is setting it up so it's a lower third co-witness, but now it restricts the diameter of the carry. It restricts the diameter of the carry handle. So now I basically have a little tiny tunnel I have to look through to use the iron.
Yes,
sight.
I understand everything you're saying.
It's just this big block that's blocking out the bottom of my M68. It was the whole thing was
Tech
just kind of
Fortress
a
F
weird clusterfuck.
Sounds like it.
Wow. I like the new little outro. That's really cute. I noticed that another day too. Oh, pause. Okay. Man, that was a lot of stuff that he just threw at me there. Gooseneck and and what was the other one he just mentioned too? Close quarter optics. Is that what he said? The CCO. Yeah. Lower third co-witness. That was another thing that kind of threw me off guard. Co-witness. That was an interesting one. Lower co-witness. Interesting. That's an interesting terminology for a part of that. Okay. See, that's what I like about their videos. I get to learn a little bit more and more about firearms and stuff like that, and the history. Especially Zach. Zach is like a freaking walking history, gun history, history channel thing. I don't know. Oh my god. I am so hating life right now, you guys. I'm starting to get allergies. Oh, this is allergies. I've been in denial for about 30 minutes now. Anyway, other than that, this was a good video. Yeah, it was a good video. There's not much I can say. I learned a lot of new stuff on there about the submachine gun, and it's in the pretty cool stuff. So they have him toward in the back, which I can see makes sense because you don't need all that unless you're on the front line. So that's interesting. And a lot of new terminology I learned today too, which I really like. And I love that little, it just kind of, that little, what was it? That little close up of Mike's character say, yeah, I'm listening. I understand what you're talking about. That was cute. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Enjoyed this video. Is another one. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. We're trying to work on 1,000 subscribers on this channel. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you want me to react to more of these, which I'm probably sure I am. But if you have specific ones, let me know in the comments. If you want to even leave the link down below, that'd be great. Just say react to this Mike Fire, and here's a link, or just say Mike Fire and kind of give a short like the title name and all for it. Anyway, love, peace, and grease. See you later. Bye.